Laker fans, what's going on? Welcome into NBA Now from Chat Sports. I'm your host, Jimmy Crowther, and look, training camp is here. The NBA preseason is right around the corner, so we're going to break down all the latest happenings with the Los Angeles Lakers. Starting out with some training camp news. Apparently, Anthony Davis and LeBron James have been having their way in training camp. Now look, it's the two stars, the brightest duo potentially in the NBA with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Now according to Coach Vogel, he's saying, it doesn't matter who's on the court with them. It doesn't matter who's on the court against them. LeBron and AD are dominating practices. They're dominating this training camp. And they've been paired together so far. After Vogel did this interview, they've done two different teams. They've played with two different teams with Anthony Davis and LeBron James at the middle of both of them. And this first team is the one that was originally talked about. It was Avery Bradley, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, LeBron and AD, of course, and then Dwight Howard. So that is a potential starting five. You got to at least consider Avery Bradley in there and KCP. So that means they were going up against guys like Danny Green and Rondo. Now, they also played with this team. It was Rondo and Danny Green in the backcourt, LeBron and AD, and then JaVale McGee. And I think this is more realistic for a starting five than the one that included Avery Bradley and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Dwight Howard, because you got Rondo, he can guard the point guards. You got Danny Green, he's the sharpshooter on the team. He's another good defensive wing. And then JaVale McGee, who's already had a year in the Lakers system. I like this team more for a starting five potential, even though I kind of like Avery Bradley a little bit more than Rondo. And stay tuned, because we're going to be talking about Avery Bradley a little bit more in this show. These were the two teams they both played with. And now, the one thing that I really want to focus on here, the main thing with this LeBron and AD just dominating practice, is Anthony Davis. Because, in my opinion, Anthony Davis still has another step that he needs to take to become a true solidified, I know he is a superstar, he's a top 5 player, do not get me wrong, I'm not saying that at all, but I do believe he can take another step, and that step is becoming the best player on a championship contender team like the Lakers are expected to be. Of course, this is still LeBron's team. Until LeBron retires, it is his team. But AD is going to have the reins here very, very soon, and he could even potentially be the best player on this team next season. Now, last year, with the Pelicans, who clearly were not a championship contender, they didn't really get all of AD because he was hurt, didn't play a lot of the season. There was a lot of drama there. He still put up the top 5 player type numbers that he is capable of doing. In 25.9 points per game, 12 boards, 2.4 blocks, and 1.6 steals. Now, AD's biggest goal, one of his main goals outside of a championship, of course, is to become the defensive player of the year. And if he puts up those same numbers, blocks and steals wise, and he just plays great defense on this Lakers team and elevates them to another level, he could be the defensive player of the year. In fact, I would say he's the favorite to win that. And that is one of those parts of the next step that AD can take to becoming an even better player, maybe top 3 player in the NBA. Now, one main thing that we got to talk about here is that on that first team with Avery Bradley, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, LeBron, Davis, and Howard, they had them. There was no Kuzma to go up against. Rondo, Green, Braun, Davis, McGee, and that other team. Kyle Kuzma's out with his injury, so they didn't even have to play against him. And I've been wanting to know the answer from Laker fans, what they think. Who will be the Lakers' third best player while Kuzma is out? He's going to be sitting for a while. I genuinely do not know. I think it's going to be Danny Green. It could be JaVale McGee. Avery Bradley's apparently doing really well in camp, so maybe it's Avery Bradley. But let me know who you guys think in the comments section. Who's going to step up while Kuzma is down and out? Now, I just mentioned the preseasons here. The NBA regular season's right around the corner. Right now, we're paying attention to football. We're watching college football. We're watching the NFL. And here at Chat Sports, we're doing that without commercials thanks to My TV Choice, our partner here. And you can do it too. You just got to download that My TV Choice app. It's really, really easy. And here's what's going to happen. You're going to turn on your favorite game, whoever you're watching that weekend. And when the commercials come on, instead of watching those boring old commercials, you're going to be watching great Chat Sports videos all throughout the break. And then we'll get you right back to the game. Thanks to My TV Choice. Go download that app today. I promise you won't regret it. Now let's move on to Avery Bradley. I said that we'd talk about him, and here we go. We're going to talk about him now. Apparently, he's dropped some weight in the offseason. He's done a lot of conditioning. He's gotten into better shape. He has to get into better shape if he's going to play for a championship contender. He's shooting the ball well in training camp, and Frank Vogel is really, really high on this guy. He even went as far to say, yeah, look, we got two superstars in AD and LeBron James, but the guy that people are paying attention to the most is Avery Bradley because his defense is absolutely outstanding in training camp. Vogel said that he's telling his guys not to dribble around Avery Bradley when he's defending them. So do not put the ball on the floor if Avery Bradley is around you. Just don't do it because he's going to steal the ball from you. He's got a ridiculous wingspan. He's always been that defensive-minded point guard, and he could be the starting point guard on night one for this Lakers team. We still do not know. Now, last year he split time with the Memphis Grizzlies and the Los Angeles Clippers, and here were his numbers. 9.9 points per game, 2.8 boards, 2.4 assists, and then 35% from three. Look, that's nothing really special. I'll say that right now. But that's not what makes Avery Bradley special. It is his defensive ability, his wingspan, his tenaciousness on the defensive end, and that's why I believe he has been so impressive early on in training camp and, with the preseason right around the corner. So you look at the other defensive-minded guys for the Lakers, and really there's just not a lot. It's Rajon Rondo, who used to be really well known for his defense. He's not quite at that level anymore. And then it's Avery Bradley. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is a good enough defender. He can guard wings. He can guard guards. LeBron, of course. And then Danny Green. Now, Danny Green's probably the best defender of all of them on this list, but he brings a different set of defensive mentality than Avery Bradley does. Bradley can defend point guards a little better than Danny Green can. And then Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is kind of on the outskirts of these five guys defensively. So it does beg the question, who starts on night one? Is it Rondo? Is it Avery Bradley? I know that Hannah talked about it on this channel a lot, so now I want to give my 2 cents. Now, Rondo last year, 9.2 points per game, 8 assists, 5.3 boards. He did shoot 35.9% from three, which is actually really good, and especially for Rajon Rondo. And then it's Avery Bradley. Now, he's got the edge in points per game, but everything else, he does take a back seat. However, and I want to make this very clear, Rondo has not proven himself alongside LeBron James. He has not been the point guard that LeBron James needs to play with. Rondo is not that. I believe Avery Bradley can be that. He can play off the ball. He can shoot the ball. He can defend guards and even up to some small forwards as well. I mean, Avery Bradley is just a great defender. I believe he could take that starting spot. Now, that's my opinion. I want to know yours. Should Avery Bradley start for this Lakers team? Type Y for yes. Type in for no. Now, if you type in for no, I need you to tell me who you want to start instead. Maybe it's Rondo. Maybe you like Quinn Cook a lot. I don't know. Whoever you think could start at point guard for the Lakers, we know LeBron James is going to be handling the ball every single night. He's basically the point guard in the offense. But defensively, you got to have someone, and it just might be Avery Bradley. Now, speaking of LeBron James, we got to talk about his load management this year because it has been a hot topic in training camp. It was a hot topic at Media Day and now going into the preseason. Vogel says that he does not plan to play LeBron James a ton in their preseason matchups, which of course is smart. LeBron's had a lot of wear and tear. He literally plays all game, every single game. Now, one thing that is important that Vogel said is that he wants to get AD and LeBron a lot of reps together, and that's important when you got two superstars, two top 5 players, arguably in the NBA. You got to get them a lot of reps, but that's going to come in training camp. It will not come in preseason. Now, last year with the Lakers, he did log a career low in minutes per game at 35.2, which is good. You don't want him playing a ton of minutes. And he logged a career low in games played. Now, that's not good because that was due to injury. He only played 55. But despite the down numbers in the minutes per game and the career games played, he still put up incredible numbers. 27.4 points per game, 8.3 assists, 8.5 boards. He is still LeBron James. It's ridiculous when people say, yeah, he had a down year. Sure, he had a down year in the fact that he didn't play 82 games. He had a down year in the fact that he was playing 35 minutes and didn't make the playoffs. But statistically, this is still LeBron. 27, 8, and 8. That is absolutely ridiculous. Now, look, he's not going to play in preseason. Or a lot, I should say. He hasn't said he's not going to play any. And here is the Lakers preseason schedule. Let's go ahead and get into it. They're going to go to Golden State. That'll be on October 5th. They'll play them in their first game. And then they're going to take the China trip. Now, historically, when teams go on China trips in preseason, they don't come out of the regular season very hot for some reason. It's been a really weird deal. So I don't expect LeBron to play in China, or at least not a ton. They're going to play Brooklyn in back-to-back games. That's October 10th and October 12th over there. And then the for some odd reason, which I still do not understand, they will play back-to-back-to-back games against the Golden State Warriors. They'll play 2 at home, October 14th and October 16th. And then they'll travel back to Golden State, which isn't that far of a travel, I guess, on October 18th. Now, if I had to guess, I would say LeBron plays in that first Golden State game. He plays in one of the Brooklyn games against China. And then he plays in at least one home game against the Warriors. But only, if at all, only for the first half of that preseason game. Now, while LeBron is out and while he is resting, because there is going to be a lot of rest put into the schedule for LeBron James, you got to think, who are the backup forwards? Who is going to take LeBron's spot when he's sitting out? Well, you got Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. More of a 2-guard, but he can play the 3. You got Kyle Kuzma, who is out with injury. More of a power forward anyway. He's not really even a small forward, but he can play that when he comes back. Now, he's going to be down for a while. Then you got Troy Daniels. Troy Daniels is a 2-guard, but they have him listed as a forward. I don't think he really slides in there. And then it's Jared Dudley. So you want LeBron to get his rest. You want LeBron to be able to sit out for a little bit. When the Lakers have a playoff spot guaranteed, sit LeBron. Give him his rest. But the question becomes, who becomes his backup? Who comes in when LeBron sits out? Now we're talking about the load management, so I got to ask, will LeBron James play over or under 65.5 games this season? If you're taking the over, that means he plays 66 plus. If you're taking the under, he plays 65 or less. I'm going to take the under. I think LeBron plays closer to 65 games because they want to get him his rest, not because of injury. I think this will be a healthy season for LeBron James, but you got to get the man his rest. He's been playing forever, and he's been playing at such a high level. Give him a break. Guys, that's all I got for you here on the Lakers Report. Make sure you are subscribed to youtube.com/chatsportstv.